So today I'm going to be showing you how to crochet a corner to corner rectangle. All you're going to need is the yarn you want to use, a hook that matches the size of the yarn you're using, some scissors, and you may, particularly if you're a beginner, find a stitch marker helpful. So before we begin, I'm just going to show you the principles of what we're going to be doing. So we want to make a rectangle. Seems straightforward enough. What we're going to be doing is starting in this bottom corner here. We're going to be doing an increasing phase here where every row gets longer. We're then going to enter a maintenance phase where every row is the same length, and then the decreasing phase where every row gets shorter, and then we will finish in this corner over here. Now it's entirely up to you how many squares you would like each side of your corner to corner rectangle to be. It's very easy to adjust once you get going. So let's get started. We're going to begin by making a slip knot. Pop your hook into the loop that you've made, make it tight, and then we're going to chain 6. So we are doing the double crochet version of the corner to corner stitch, which is the classic version. Once you have made 6 chains, starting in the 4th chain from the hook, you're going to yarn over and then do a double crochet. And you're going to do that in each of those 3 chains that you have left. Whoops. So you should finish with a chain 3 at the end and then 1, 2, 3 double crochets. As we are in the increasing phase, at the start of every subsequent row, we are then going to chain 6. And again, in the 4th chain from the hook, we're going to place a double crochet, then into the 5th chain from the hook, and then into the 6th chain from the hook. So again, just like the last one, we have a chain 3 and 3 double crochets. Here is the original one that we had. We're then going to twist this and slip stitch into the chain 3 space. Now for every square after that first square, during the increasing phase at least, we're going to chain 3 and then place 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. You can now see that we have 2 rows, 1 square for row 1, 2 squares for row 2, and the increasing phase is going to continue in this fashion. So for the first square of the row, we always chain 6, do our 3 double crochets, turn and then slip stitch into the chain 3 space we're next to. Then we chain 3 and do 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. And do the same again, so slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 3, and then 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. So now row 3 has 3 squares, and it's going to continue increasing in this fashion. So row 4 will have 4 squares, row 5 will have 5 squares. I want you to continue until you are finished with the increasing phase, which means that this edge here is as wide as you would like the bottom of your rectangle to be. Come back and meet me then. So as you can see, I have completed 5 rows. So my final row in the increasing phase has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. For the purposes of this demonstration, I am going to create a rectangle that is 5 squares along the short side and 7 squares along the long side. So in order to achieve that, I need to start going up this side and this side before we meet at the top. In order to do that, I do not want to increase in this direction. So I am not going to do a chain 6 to start the next row. Instead, I'm going to pick up my work. I'm going to turn, no chain 1 to turn, And then I'm going to do a slip stitch into the top of each double crochet from that previous square. So you're going to slip stitch into those 3 double crochets, like so. So you've moved your hook from the very corner to this inner corner here. Now, if you remember, for each subsequent square of a new row, we normally do a chain 3 and 3 double crochets. And that is exactly what we're going to do now. So chain 3 and then 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. And then we're going to continue as normal. So we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space, chain 3, and then place 3 double crochets into the chain 3 space. And we're going to repeat this process until we get to the end of the row. I shall meet you there. So now we've reached the end of row 6, and this is the first row in our maintenance phase, which means that we are no longer increasing the number of squares per row. So row 6 still has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. We have gone up to 6 in this direction, but I would like it to be 1 more square tall before we start the decreasing phase. So because we do want to extend in this direction, we will start with a chain 6. In order to remember that this is the side that we don't want to increase in, you can attach a little stitch marker as a reminder. You will find with time though that you won't need this. So we're going to chain 6 and start off as we would for any row during the increasing phase with our 3 double crochets. Turn your work and slip stitch into that chain 3 space, and then again, just like before, we're going to do those chain 3 double crochet squares. If I can just get a bit more yarn. Okay, and I'm going to meet you back at the end of this row. So I have now reached my stitch marker. I've got my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares. And this stitch marker is a visual representation. It's a reminder not to slip stitch, chain 3 and do 3 double crochets, because then you're going to end up with a random square sticking out here and a little gap in the corner. So that's not what we want to do. We're going to, yes, slip stitch to join to the square, but remember we then turn and slip stitch into the top of the 3 double crochets from the square that we just finished. So again, you can see this side of the rectangle is now moving along. Now we have now reached our 7 squares. If you stretch out your longest side, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now we're going to be moving on to the decreasing phase. As I said, I'm aiming for a 5 by 7 rectangle. So we're going to start off as per the other rows in the maintenance phase. We're going to start with our chain 3 and 3 double crochets. And then we're going to continue working along this row. I shall meet you once you've done the square that goes just here. So we've now completed 1, 2, 3, 4 squares, and just like on this edge, we do not want to keep going up here. We want to stop and start working an edge along this side. So again, if needed, add yourself a stitch marker to use as a visual representation and reminder to stop and think. Just as we did when we reached this edge, we're going to slip stitch into the chain 3 space, turn our work, and slip stitch into the tops of the 3 double crochets. And it is that simple for every row in the decreasing phase. So as I said, we currently have 4 squares. We're going to then have 3, then 2, then 1, then be finished. And every time we meet an edge, instead of doing our chain 6 and adding a square, we're going to keep going along until we get to the corner. So I shall meet you as you're coming towards that final end. So we have 1 row and 1 square left to do. We're going to do our chain 3, 3 double crochets into that chain 3 space from the previous row, and slip stitch into our square just here. Now, technically, you could leave it there. You've got a lovely rectangle, even better once you've given it a good block, But personally, I think it looks a little neater if you do those 3 final slip stitches. Chain 1, cut your yarn and pull through so that you actually finish in a corner. And there you have it, a corner to corner rectangle. Now the exact same principles apply whether you're using double crochet like I did or half double crochet. And check out this video here for how to change colours when you're using double crochet.